Hi guys, welcome to the second episode of the Diaspora Diaries. I'm your host Sandy, and today I have two friends of mine. We have Emma and
I'm Kimberly.
okay, so Emma and Kimberly, tell us more about yourself. Like, tell us who you are, where you're from, and how you got to the U.S. from your home country. I'll start with you, Emma.
Yeah, my name is Emma. I'm from Tanzania. I came here as as an international student. So I moved from Tanzania straight to Kansas City.
Okay, so you came on an F1 visa.
Yeah, it's an F1 visa. Yeah.
Okay, good. How about you, Kimberly?
So I'm Kimberly. First of all, I'm a Gemini. But apart from that, I'm Kenyan and I came to the US as an F1 student. So it's been a good about 8 years now. But obviously, circumstances have changed since then. But yeah, that's how I came.
Okay, so how long have you been here, Emma?
Yeah, I've been here for like 8 years too. I came in 2018.
Okay, so all three of us came here as international students. We all came here on an F1 visa. So our experiences are similar but also very different, but they will be the same as a lot of you and also differ in a lot of ways. I've been here for 5 years, they've been here for 8 years, so they have more insight than me, and that's why they're guests on this podcast. So today we're going to talk about the expectations versus reality of when you came here from Africa.
Yeah.
I'm saying Africa because we're from two different countries.
Yeah.
But like, so when you came here, what did you think of America? Like, and when you got here, what's the America that you saw versus the America that you thought about when you came here?
Okay. So I landed in Dallas, which is obviously already a big state.
Mm-hmm.
And initially I was like, oh my gosh, we have all the big highways I've seen in the movies. But then my endpoint was in Louisiana. So once I started driving out of Dallas and into the country, I was like, hang on. We do have, rural areas in America. Although I feel like the facade that was there for rural countries, like the rural country, was more of like ranches and cowboys, but this was very different. So it was kind of like a shock because I thought like, all nice roads and really nice houses, but
And high rises.
high rises. But then as we went further into the country, then it was a completely different place where you could actually see poverty like right in your face. So yeah, that was my first impression.
Yeah, that's actually a similar experience for me because for Indiana it was the same. I landed at Indianapolis and I went to Ball State. So Indianapolis to Muncie, where Ball State is in, is like an hour difference.
Yeah.
And between Indianapolis to Muncie, there's a place we got to and it was just cornfields.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, where am I? But was that the same experience for you, Emma?
Kinda, cause like I said before, I moved straight from Tanzania to Kansas City, and then growing up personally, actually we're talking about this with Kimberly today. Yeah, so yeah, the experience was the same for me for sure. Kinda the same, cause I moved from Tanzania all the way to like Kansas City, and I was talking about this with Kimberly today, and I grew up like watching Disney and all this stuff. So like I expected when I came to the US, well, I'll move to New York, have like a waitressing job, go to college, be like the quarterback of like a of the football team, and then I came and I went to Kansas City, and it's like it was trees, and all I saw was just trees, farms, and I was like, take me back home, please. This is not the America I was promised. This is not America. Please take me back home. And yeah, so I was honestly very shocked that America had like rural areas because I just thought America is just very forward that they don't have rural areas. But yeah, farms.
Yeah. And I guess that's an experience that we both, well, the three of us share, because we all went to the Midwest. And of course, it makes sense that we went to the Midwest because the Midwest is like the cheapest, the cheapest places. Like most of the colleges in the Midwest are cheaper. And of course, for international students, we pay like 3 times what regular students are paying. So in the Midwest, it's much more affordable for us. But when we're in Africa, we all think New York, LA, Chicago, even, but nobody ever tells us about Kansas, Muncie, and all the
honestly, every
towns.
time I talk to like my parents or my siblings, no, actually my siblings, they'll be like, "Where are you again?" Because they need to tell like their friends. Like my sister is in America, and people are like, "Where in America?" And they're like, "I'm like Kansas City." They're like, and I have to be like Chicago, closer to Chicago. They're like, okay, I know Chicago, so I'm like, yeah, just say Chicago, somewhere close to Chicago, because nobody knows Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City, Kansas. And my dad, because he's from Tanzania, he'll be like, Missouri, and I'm like Missouri.
Or the way they say Kansas, it's Kansas. So I'm like, oh, it's Kansas. They're like, no, Kansas.
It's like same
Yeah.
So like, okay, so let's talk about school. For me, when I came straight to Ball State University. And when I went there, I had like this picture of how college life is supposed to be in America. And I want to know, like, how was your experience? Because my first experience actually at Ball State, I remember because I didn't have a car, I didn't have a driver's license, I didn't have nothing. I was fresh off the boat from Kenya, and I landed in DC, and I was in Florida, and then I went to Indiana, but I didn't have a car, I didn't have nothing. So the first day I had to go to school, I had to go to the health center, and I needed to like take my vaccine records, my TB and everything, my TB test, and I had to take the bus, and it started raining, so the bus delayed, and we had to stand like there was no the bus stop had no shade or nothing. It was just like you just had to stop at the bus stop. It was nothing there. There was no trees, no nothing. It was just an empty bus stop, and it was so far away from other buildings, and that was the last bus of the day. So we had to, it was like either you wait for the bus or you risk going to another building, which is like 20 minutes walk away, or and miss the bus when it comes, or you just stand there and get rained on. And I was rained on like so badly.
No.
I have never experienced that in Kenya. But here I got rained on so badly. And when the bus came, an hour later, by the way, because it had to delay, I don't know why, but the bus delayed so much that I was getting rained on for an hour. When I got in the bus, there was empty seats, but I couldn't sit because I was drenching in like water and all that, so I had to stand the entire time. And when I got home, I just started crying. I called my mom.
Like, what is this?
Everyone calls me like, I want to come back. So I want to hear your experiences. Like, what was it like for you guys? Like, how was school? Like, your expectations versus reality, because we all know what the movies show us, like you said, you thought you were gonna be like a quarterback or whatever. So how was it like for you?
For me, yeah, like I say, so I mostly watched like a lot of TV, so I thought like college was just like um parties, like drinking and all that stuff, and just like hanging out with people, making friends. And because I don't have family here, I don't know anyone in America. So I was like, I'm looking forward to making friends, doing all this fun stuff, and getting my like cute waitressing job. I don't know, but anyway, I came here, and school was my first school that I was enrolled into was Metropolitan Community College, which is a community college.
Mhm.
And community college is like full of there's no hostels,
Mhm.
and it's full of like everyone from different like walks of life. Where it's like adults who are working, international students. Like
Yeah.
it's not just college students.
Yeah.
It's not like a 4-year college.
Mhm.
So it's like people would go into class, and immediately when they're done with class, get into their cars and go home. There's no
Get
like
back to
making
their
friends.
business,
There's
yeah.
no friends. The only friends you make is like maybe like someone's like, you're like, can I borrow? Did you like get this homework? Do you understand this? But nobody was looking to make friends because most of people who go to community colleges are from the area. They're local.
Mhm.
They already have friends. They have family. They have boyfriends, girlfriends. They're not looking to make new friends.
Yeah.
So it was just like disappointing for me at first because I was like, damn. How am I gonna meet people? Because I thought I was gonna like make college friends,
Yeah.
you know. And they say like you make friends in college, and sometimes they're like your friends for life, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then yeah, so I had to like swallow that pill that like I can't make friends because people were just like every time people are not in school to like make friends. People are just there to get their associates, get their whatever degrees, and just like leave. So I was like, okay, fine. And then also for me it was so hard because I didn't have a car, like you say.
Yeah.
And I had to take the bus and public transportation in Kansas City. Please do
It's
not
the
move to
worst.
Kansas City. It was so bad. It was so bad that like there's no like buses going at night.
Yeah.
There's no buses going. So my school is in Missouri. I lived in Kansas at the time. There's no like buses going from Missouri to Kansas at night.
Yeah.
So what I used to do was like in the morning I take the bus. My school was like maybe 25 minutes from my house, but it took like almost like 2 hours for me to get to school. So my classes started at like 8, but I had to wake up at like 5:30. Make sure I'm at the bus stop by 6. And sometimes it's snowing. You have to like walk to the bus stop, and like you said, sometimes buses are delayed, and I have to stand outside in the cold. And in like the Midwest, most people have cars, so it's like the only people like walking around. It's like you and homeless people. Like only people at the bus stop is you and homeless people and crackheads. There's no one else. Yeah, there's no one else on the bus. So it's like, oh my god, and it's like you're just like, this is just so sad. And most times, like, I just get home and cry. I was actually very depressed. Anyway. And then like at night, because I didn't have like a bus and like navigate with other international students with cars, so I'd make sure like my class schedule syncs with their class schedule. So I'd be like, are you taking any? If I'll just like call them or text them or ask them like in person, like, are you taking any evening classes? And they'll be like, yes, I'm taking maybe French this semester. I'll be like, that ends at 9 p.m. I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna take French this semester that ends at 9 p.m. So that like every time we leave together and they can drop me off because I don't have a bus that's gonna drop me off. And yeah, and you know, like as much as you can call your parents and be like, oh, it's so bad, but they don't hear. There's nothing they can do to fix it. So I had to like look for ways around it. So that's what I used to do, is just like look for friends who have like cars, other like international students with cars, and like sync my like school schedule with theirs, like especially evening classes, to just make sure like I have a ride back home. And then like to go to the grocery store, I had to like call an Uber. Like it was
which gets expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I feel like I experienced pretty much the same thing with you, and it's very depressing. It's honestly very isolating.
Yeah.
And I want to hear Emma, like, was your story different?
Kimberly.
Like,
Kimberly.
oh, sorry.
It's okay, it's allowed.
Okay, it's already, yeah. And I want to hear Kimberly, like, was your story like different from ours, or is it the same? Like, how was your experience? Like, since you had family, like, we forgot to mention that both Emma and I didn't have close family when we moved here, but at least Kimberly.
No, so the only family I had was an aunt, my mother's sister, but she lived in Texas at the time.
Okay.
So granted, she did help me figure out how to settle down in school, and she found me a place to live, which luckily was a place close to school, so I could walk to my classes. It was about a 10-minute walk,
Okay.
so it wasn't that bad.
But during winter
But during winter,
Yeah.
but also it was in Louisiana,
Oh, okay.
and
That's fair.
winters down there don't get too bad.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I would do is just wake up in the morning at 7 o'clock. I'd always have 8 o'clock classes. I'd walk to school, but sometimes it would snow, like a very slight snow, nothing
Yeah.
crazy like the Midwest snow or like up north snow. But then my roommate, luckily, he was an extended family type of person. So sometimes he would drop me. Sometimes he'd be coming from work and he was very exhausted and he could not do that for me. So I would have to walk in the snow, which wasn't too bad. I feel like I had it easier than the both of you did, honestly. Yeah, but I think my biggest challenge was financially, because granted, once I got here, the whole process of applying for a visa and buying a plane ticket and paying for school fees was very hard on me and my family. So when I got here, it was very hard for me to be able to get extra money to maybe buy essentials and that kind of stuff. But apart from that, I feel like everything else is easy because whoever I was living with, they took care of the rent entirely. But granted, I would have to cook, clean, just so I can kind of
just so it doesn't feel like you're a leech.
Yeah, just so I can make sure that I'm also supporting this person.
Yeah.
And obviously, as an international student, you cannot work. So at that point, you're just like, oh my gosh, what do I do?
Yeah, that's actually a good point before you continue. A lot of people, when they apply to come here on a student visa, a lot of people don't understand that as an international student, your work authorization is very limited.
Yes.
Like the only place you can work is on campus, and it's only 20 hours.
A week.
And on campus, like the jobs, I don't know about you guys, but for my college, the jobs you could get on campus was working at the restaurant, like as a dishwasher, as a server. And when I say a server, I don't mean like a fancy server. I mean like you're at some diner, like you don't even get, and this is controversial, but college students don't tip that much.
No,
they
don't have money.
So they don't have money. They're college students like you. So you can't even fault them for that.
Yeah, in my school, you could also work at the computer
library.
lab. And also as a tutor, like if you have like good grades, math grades, you can work as a math tutor. At the it was like a student
center.
Yeah, where you could work as a math tutor. So I ended up working as a
tutor.
No, I worked in the computer lab as like a IT
technician.
IT like support person.
Okay.
And then that's what I did for the first like 2 years.
But how much are they paying?
How much are they paying?
Oh my god, they're paying us like $8 per hour.
Like literal minimum wage.
Yeah.
If the minimum wage for your state is $7, you're going to be paid $7.
And then you can only work 20 hours a week.
Yeah. So like it's really not much. You can't even pay rent with the amount of like even groceries, you're barely surviving.
That's
on
true.
That.
Yeah, honestly that's true.
So you were saying?
Yeah, so I feel like for me, the hardest part was financially, but everything else was pretty easy because whoever I lived with, they bought food, paid for bills and all. But also there's that longing for being with family or, having that support system around you. When I moved, I went to Louisiana, and the only person I knew at the time was whoever I was living with. I didn't have anybody else. Making friends in school is very hard. The school I went to was HBCU. Which was
what was the name of the school?
It was Grambling State.
Okay.
Yeah. So predominantly black. And I don't know if it was just the culture of the school, but everybody was like super cliquey. So it was very hard for you to actually make friends. You could go to class and nobody would talk to anybody else. So I ended up making friends with one Nigerian girl, and she's the only friend that I ever made during my stay in that school. So that also made it worse. But also, the only kind of men I was attracting at the time were men that just wanted to, sex and call it a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
That you're gonna say, okay.
I mean, they would like do you favors where they would like take you for a ride, go to
Yeah.
lunch, but that was basically it.
Yeah.
So I did feel very lonely too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is
Yeah.
like a very poor state.
Yeah,
No,
so
that's
speaking
so
of which, you mentioned you went to HBCU. I'm currently at HBCU. I go to Jackson State University for my PhD, but most of my classes are online. But I want to hear your experience, like, because when I moved here, I used to have this idea in my head. I would have a friend group. I would be the black friend. We would have an Asian friend. We would have a white friend, like you see in movies.
That's what
right?
that's
They
the
make you
PR,
believe.
the American PR,
Right,
yeah.
But like, so making friends, you would think that because this person is black, it would be easy for me to connect with them. So since you went to a HBCU, I want to hear your opinion. Like, how was it like connecting to other black people who are not exactly from Africa?
I feel like it was hard. First of all, culturally, and also just being that person that came from Africa. You have an accent. You look very different.
Yeah.
So for me, from my perspective, I feel like I was very timid about approaching people. And even if people approached me, I was still very skeptical because it was like, it just doesn't feel right. It feels like something could go wrong with this whole situation. I was never like, granted, I was never fully open to making friends with, my fellow classmates because of the culture too, where everybody was super cliquey. So it was hard to make friends, and I couldn't even like make a conversation with somebody. So going back to your question, which was how was the interaction?
Yeah, like just especially with
Friendship.
since it was at HBCU, like you're black, yes, but you're black from Africa, but there's black people from the Caribbean, Latin America, black people from America. Did you feel like you were the same, or did you feel like you were the same but different? Like,
we were the same but different.
okay.
Because even the Caribbean girls or the Caribbean community, they would all have their own clique. Like the black would have their own clique, the Africans would have their own clique.
I noticed you say the black people.
That's the black people.
I know.
That's what I mean.
No, I know. That's why I wanted to introduce that, because like I, as an African, totally understand what you mean. But someone who's watching who's not African, they wouldn't understand that before you came to America, you didn't even realize that I'm black.
That I'm black. I'm
African, like it's not your
right?
identity. I'm African. I'm Kenyan. I'm Luya. You're Kalenjin. You're Kinga. Like we identify by tribes, country, ethnicity, nationality,
but not by race.
But not by race. We never identified as by race before we moved here.
That's true.
So like when you say black people, I'm like, but you're black. But I wanted to talk about that.
So basically, black Americans did form their own cliques. Like each and every group had their own clique, which was very hard for us to intermingle. The only time it would happen was during house parties, which once that was done, then everybody would go their own way. And granted, I only ended up going to like 1 or 2 house parties at the most, so it wasn't really like a good measure of what happens exactly. But I used to go to church, and the church, it was owned by, I think, a Nigerian pastor, or maybe someone from West Africa, and you could still tell from that congregation that we had different people from the Caribbean or African or Black Americans, but still that clique was being formed. So it was a struggle making friends around at the time, but also I feel like I was very timid, so I wouldn't say that was the issue. I wasn't out there. I wasn't open,
feel like
so you can't really judge or measure by that.
Yeah, I feel like as Africans, we're generally timid. And it's not really we're timid, it's just how we, especially East Africans. Let me not say Africans.
Yeah.
We're all East Africans, so we both can relate. But if it was a Nigerian girl here, it would be a totally different experience. Like East Africans, we're more calm,
Yeah.
soft spoken. We're not like as loud and outspoken as Nigerians. But yeah, so like that's pretty much the experience like here. Like everything that you think is supposed to be turns out to be different. So that makes me ask one of the hard questions. So relationship wise, um, how has your relationship life been here compared to Kenya? Like, how did you expect your relationship like to be like when you're here? And then how has it been in reality? So I'll start with you, Lata, Emma. Because for me, before I moved here, I used to think, okay, no. So yeah, so pretty much like what we are learning is most of our expectations and reality have been water and oil, salt and water. I don't know. I can't remember the figure in English, but I know in Swahili. So let's talk about relationships. Like, what did you think your relationship would be like before you moved here? Your relationship life, I mean. What did you think it would be like before you moved here, and what was it like? Because I know a lot of us, especially East African girls, for some reason, we romanticize dating a white man. For some reason, we think that's like out there in the midst of making it. We think that dating a white man is making it. So when you move to America, because me personally, I prefer my men black. But what is you guys' perspective on relationship and dating? Reality versus expectations.
So So for me, I feel like I keep on repeating my point over and over again. But I grew up like watching. Actually, we talked about this today. But I grew up like watching Disney, reading like Wattpad stories and all that stuff. So I romanticized the idea of having like a white boyfriend, cause like a white quarterback boyfriend, or just like a white boy in school who's in college who's like so famous, so cool. Yeah, because that's what was in the movies, and I was like, I'm gonna get that because I'm going to America.
Yeah.
But I got here and like I ended up moving to Kansas, which is like a small, non-diverse like place, and then and then like not only that, I didn't go to like a 4-year college straight away. I moved into a community college, which is like so different from 4-year college. Yeah, an actual college.
Well, I'm sorry to call it an actual college.
It is like an actual college, but it's not like a 4-year college.
Like a university.
Yeah, it's not a university. It's like
They call it a community
college. And like for Kenyans who are watching, the equivalent of a community college would be like
a
technical school, like KMTC would be an example of that.
Yeah, it's where you get your diploma.
Yeah.
So you go get your associate and then you move to a 4-year college.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so that's where I moved to at first. And so Kansas is like just full of white people, and that's the first time like I came to America and realized there's something called race, where you're like black and there's white people, and white people prefer most white people in like smaller towns, which is where I moved to, prefer people who look like them. So relationships were not like easy, and then the only options I had was the Africans that were around me, where like our circle is so small, and I personally didn't feel like I came all the way to America to to just be with. I came to America to explore and experience the big life, experience people from other cultures.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just feel like I didn't cross an ocean
Mm-hmm.
to come and date people from my own home country. Because I was like, I know these men.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them before.
So used to this.
Oh yeah, I was like, I need something new, something
Yeah.
exciting. So it took me some time to actually like start dating because I was like, I want to date Americans. And what it was I the whole idea of like race and everything helped. It just like it moved me from the idea of like wanting a white man. It didn't take me that long. I came to realize like I'm not that much into white men. I just like the story because that's what I saw on TV. But I realized like I really like black men, especially black American men, because it's like the men I used to see on TV. It's like men you used to see like Chris Brown, all these people, and they're just like walking out in the street, and you're like, ooh. So that's what I wanted, and it was not easy to get them. And even when you get them, it's like so different because how they date is very different from how Africans date because they have like friends with benefits, they have like being exclusive and all these things. But I feel like in Africa, all we do is like we've met, we like each other. At least that's what I thought. And we're in a relationship, boom, in like maybe a month.
Simple.
Yeah, but here it takes so long and
like there's so many stages
Yeah,
before you reach
yeah.
the exclusive. But in
Yeah.
Africa, it's like we're either dating or we're
We're not. Yeah. And I feel so I had to like slowly learn that like maybe a man sleeping with you or like saying that they like you doesn't mean that he's gonna be your boyfriend. Yeah, he can like you and like 10 other girls. So yeah. I had to like learn all that, which was very different for me. I was used to like men being like, I like you, and he's gonna ask me to be his girlfriend in like
his wife.
a month. Oh yeah. So I had to get used to that. I had to get used to like being exclusive, what it means, what it means to be in a relationship. It was just like very different for me from where like I came from. But yeah, what about you, Kimberly?
Tell us about your dating life.
So first of all, when I came over, I was very naive. Okay, relationship.
Wait, how old were you when you came over?
I
feel
19.
like 18. How old were you, Emma?
18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay, so they were still babies when they came over.
Yeah.
I can't tell you guys my age.
That's okay.
But I was in
Yeah.
my 20s.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so for me, when I got here, I don't think a relationship was one thing that I was, thinking about. But eventually down the line, ended up getting a lot of Kenyan friends, and I did start to realize that the relationships that we have were all very centered around the same people. So you'd be sleeping around with the same person that your friend slept with, which is like a very odd experience because in Kenya that would never happen. Yeah, so for me, I wouldn't say like I had any expectations when it came to relationships. I was just here just trying to have a good time. Ended up finding love. My first real love. It wasn't like even love at that point. Then entered with a Kenyan guy.
You came all the way to America just to fall in love with
What
a
tribe?
Kenyan
What
guy.
tribe?
What tribe was he?
Why does that matter?
No, I'm
We
just
just
saying,
need to
like, did you
know,
cross the
right?
ocean to fall in love with a Kikuyu man?
Yeah.
No, it's like Kalenjin man again.
Oh, that's
right.
nice.
Yeah.
People.
No, but the thing is, I was hanging around Kalenjin people.
Okay.
So it was easier for me to,
Yeah.
get
Okay.
into a relationship with
And
someone
Cyprus, I feel like
Mm.
this is my opinion. I might be wrong,
Yeah.
but I feel like Kansas is so full of Kenyans, and
Yeah.
specifically Kalenjin
That
Kenyans.
is
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
like every other Kenyan you meet, you can always guess.
Yeah.
I've never been around like as many Kalenjins as I've been
in
in
Kansas.
Kansas. Yeah.
It's like how Minnesota is with Kisses.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So Kansas is
Full of
Kalenjin,
Kalenjins.
and
Yeah.
Texas is Luyas.
Oh really?
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, so Texas has a lot of Luya people. I don't know
Yeah.
why,
Yeah.
but
And
yeah.
then Washington, I think there's a lot of Kikuyu.
Kikuyus.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
Washington State.
Oh.
But also, once I was done with the Kenyan relationship, going back into the dating scene or the dating market, it would still be African men because the only way you'd meet, new people would be through mutuals or like going out to the club. And African people tend to stick together. You go to the club and it's an all African club.
Yeah.
So you're not meeting people from Africa. But then also, eventually, as I've grown older and be in my mid 20s into my late 20s, I've realized that even if you want to date outside of the community, it gets really hard because Kansas City is actually one of the lowest ranked states in terms of the dating scene.
Really?
Yes. Like, that's one of the worst places where you could actually find love.
Really?
Yes.
What do you think that is?
I just feel like people in Kansas.
Where'd you read that?
I don't know. I think I saw it on Instagram or like
TikTok?
or on TikTok or somewhere.
Okay.
But apparently, like Kansas City, you can barely find love.
Is it
People
because
don't go
people
outside.
get married?
People get married young.
Oh, okay, I was about to
Okay.
say.
Yeah.
Most people get married in like high school or college.
Yeah.
Right after high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's been a tough situation where you're trying to like.
Also,
date
it's
outside
a
of your
place.
community.
Yeah, it's also a place where people move from other states to raise kids
Yeah.
because it's
very
affordable and
family-oriented.
yeah.
So by the time they come to Kansas, they're already married.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Yeah,
They just
maybe
come
that's
there because
why.
it's affordable.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
also, it could be because it's very rural America and people like what they like. So if you're white, you're probably gonna like try to get to white people.
Yeah.
Or if you're Mexican, then you want to date someone who's Mexican.
Yeah, because even Africans end up marrying other Africans as well. It's not a very like diverse place.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I feel like that's what my experience has been saying.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
My experience was pretty much different because I went to Ball State and Ball State, I didn't meet a lot of Africans there, but a lot of Africans that were at Ball State were mostly Ghanaian students. So for me, it was like even dating other Africans wasn't an option for me because there wasn't enough Africans on campus. Muncie was a college town, so other than Ball State students, there wasn't anybody else living in Muncie apart from crackheads and old people. So it was like that was all my choices. But that also brings me to the other question of fashion and makeup because everyone always told me that my fashion was different.
Yeah.
I'm very Afrocentric. Like, if you cannot tell I'm African by the way I look, you'll tell that I'm African from the way I dress. If you can't tell I'm African from the way I dress, you'll tell I'm African from the way I speak. And if you can't tell I'm African from the way I speak, you can tell I'm African from the way my apartment looks like. And if you can't tell I'm African from all that, I'll tell you like 1,000 times in between the conversation. Yeah, I'm so proud to be African. Like, I can't imagine not being African. Like, I feel like it's such a blessing to be African. But like, what are we talking about again? I just love talking about being African.
Fashion and makeup.
Oh, fashion and makeup. So like, wigs, for example.
Yeah.
Like wigs, for example. Lace front.
Yeah.
In Africa, like I've always heard this phrase, hard wig, soft life.
Yeah.
But to me, like Americans say hard wig, soft life. But really, hard wigs is mostly Africans who wear hard wigs. And white men fetishize African women. So it's like the correlation is there. I don't think Americans put it together, but they think it's because of the wig, but it's really that white men fetishize African women. And like, if you think about the wig that you would have worn in Kenya or the wig you would have worn in Tanzania and the wig that you have to wear right now, like, or makeup even, like just something as simple as lipstick, lip gloss, or your face. I don't know much about makeup, so I can't even talk about the terminologies, but like, just in terms of makeup and fashion, like, what what did you think it was going to be like? What's the reality and what's the difference between what you were used to in Kenya?
Can I start?
Yeah.
So, my mother taught me to always be authentic to yourself
Mm-hmm.
and always be unique. So, initially when I came here, I feel like my fashion sense was very unique,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not always perceived in the best way possible. I think a lot of people out here tend to go with fast fashion or like trendy things. So when I got here, I really had a problem with, you know, feeling like I was dressing up to standard
Mm-hmm.
because I would wear something and it would be like, that is a little bit odd. Nobody's wearing that anymore.
Yeah.
So I did have a struggle with that, and I was not necessarily the kind of person to put on makeup.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, to my friends, they really like pushed me. They didn't push me, but they did show me there's like more to makeup and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So as time has gone by, I'm starting to realize that yes, it's good to be trendy, but also it gets boring because everybody wears the same
The
thing.
same thing.
Everybody
Yeah.
looks the same. You go to the club and you look at all the girls; they all look the
The
fucking
same
same, literally.
thing. Literally. The same aesthetic, the same everything.
Yeah, but granted, within like between me being 21 to let's say like 25, I did get into the trend and it felt good.
Mm-hmm.
Being okay, everybody, this is what everybody's wearing, this is how we're all looking, you know,
Mhm.
you're like part of it. But I think now that I'm growing older, then I'm realizing that yes, you can kind of change the style, you can
Mhm.
still be authentic and unique, but also keep up with the times and the trends without necessarily being trendy.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's what's been with me. And then also the part about wearing whatever you want to wear. In
Mm-hmm.
Africa, you would wear like a really short dress, and people would like, you know, maybe catcall you or
Harass you.
you.
Yeah.
But
The
out
border
here,
border guys. Oh my god. I'm
Not even-
traumatized.
right? Or even like
I can't even.
Nini, what do you call them? The
What?
matatu towels.
Yeah, the conductors.
The
You can't
conductors.
even remember what conductors it was.
Towels. Makanga.
Makanga.
Maka-
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Makangas.
That would
Yeah.
harass the hell out
I
of
remember
me.
there's this one time that this border guy was talking to me and I was ignoring him and he was like unaringa na matako yako ni nisikuti.
No, it is said
Oh,
that.
I swear to God they say that. But okay.
And the
you-
insults
you
are normally
cut out.
very
But
cutting.
Yeah.
Like you'd rather
They
be
do that on
abused by
purpose.
someone, you know, different. We're not talking
Yeah.
about a Buddha guy or a Makanga
Mm.
because it's gonna hurt so bad.
Oh,
Granted,
yeah.
it could be funny
And
in a
they
show
say
to
it
check
so
out.
loudly so that everyone
Everybody can
can
hear and
so
laugh.
that you get embarrassed.
Yeah, they do it on purpose. Yeah.
So being able to wear like really short dresses and like shorts, especially being a cover girl and you're wearing shorts, well, nobody really cares, you know?
Mhm.
It's not like a big deal, but compared to Kenya, like if you did the same, it would be very different.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my experience.
True.
Yeah.
Fashion and makeup for me was interesting because I moved like straight from Tanzania to Kansas, and in Kansas City people don't dress up. I like Kimberly. I thought like Americans like, cause like back home we like follow like Western culture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We wore Supras because Justin Bieber was wearing Supras.
Right.
It was
We
trendy,
wore
yeah.
certain crop tops because maybe Beyonce, Rihanna wore them.
Mhm.
So I thought like every American dressed like that,
Mhm.
only to like go to the Midwest and realize people will just like wear
Sweatpants and
t-shirt,
all
sweatpants and hoodies, and like not even nice ones, and like a
Mhm.
t-shirt
From
and
Walmart.
yeah,
Or
t-shirt from
pajamas.
Walmart and jeans. People wear pajamas and just
To
walk
class.
around
I was so shocked that people wear pajamas
to
class.
class
Yeah.
and a big
True
t-shirt.
story,
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah. So it was just very like weird for me because I thought like I was coming to school and I'd be dressing up.
You're
because
gonna be trendy.
in Africa we try and dress up. I feel like
Yeah.
a little bit, and then when you come to America, you wanna dress up because you wanna look way
nice.
Put
better.
together.
Yeah, way put together, and you wanna put your best foot forward because this is a new environment. You wanna make new friends.
And you
But-
wanna look cool.
Yeah, you wanna look cool. You wanna be like, yes, I dress like you guys. I know your
Right.
culture. Like I'm almost like one of you guys. Just pick me. But anyway, yeah. Oh yeah. But then I went to concerts. People don't dress up, and you look. And not only that, it was just like even when it came to hair, like it's like full of like white people. I mean, there is black people, but it's like it's full of like white people, and then it's like when you first come here, let's talk about hair. Like doing your hair here, especially in Kansas. I don't know about other states.
That's a whole
But in
different
Kansas,
story.
it's so expensive.
Yeah.
You either have to learn how to do your own hair or you have to pay a lot of money. I remember
Like
coming here.
$200.
Yeah, I remember coming here. My first time I wanted to do fox locks, four locks, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And someone was like, you have to pay $140 to get them done. I was like, I'm not getting them done. But you know what? You live here long enough and realize
It's not that serious.
you might as well just pay someone to do your hair because you're not gonna. Personally, I don't know how to do my hair, and it's not gonna turn out nicely.
Yeah.
So you just like get around like paying people like $100, $150, $200 to do your hair, but it's crazy.
You know what my issue with that is?
Yeah.
You could pay someone $280 something to do your hair,
And
they still do a really bad job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really bad. Like when I got my hair done, that really burnt my forehead.
Yeah.
Literally. And I'm just like.
Yeah, I think the thing about America, I don't know if it's the beauty standards or whatever it is, but it's like you develop insecurities you never knew you had. Like I never knew I had like issues dealing with my natural hair.
Yeah.
Until I came here. I don't know if it's because back home it's easy, you just go into a salon and they do your hair every 2 weeks and it's affordable.
Right.
But until I came here I realized like I don't like dealing with my natural hair. Like, and it's like having it like done every 3 weeks is very expensive.
It's expensive. Like if you have to do your hair professionally, you have to get a style that like will last you for 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, it's very expensive. Yeah.
I feel the same. Like when I got here initially, all I did was braids. It was only up until I think like 2 or 3 years ago when I actually did my first wig install. And I'd actually always embrace my natural hair. I would do like twist out or like hold it up in a bun. But then as time goes by, you tend to realize that that's not what people want, or like that's not what people appreciate. So with time, I was like, oh, maybe I need to switch up my hair a little bit. Start doing a whole bunch of braids, where you're doing like braids back to back, and then with that comes with hair loss and like your edges thinning. And you're like, girl, I'm losing my hair now. What was the next best thing for me personally was, let me texturize my hair. Just say it's easier to maintain. I can still like slick it back. It's easier. But then also slicking back your hair, you always want to like pull your hair a little bit more, so you're also still losing hair. And then even with like stuff like a silver or like a wig, you put in a wig, all that glue just like pulls off. And I'm like, to what extent are we gonna have to go for us to feel comfortable?
The hair. Yeah, that's true. Do you know they even have to put in a whole like law for like black people to be able to wear their actual like natural hair to work? It's called the Crown Act something. And
already,
I didn't know that.
Because people would judge you from
it seemed like if you have your natural hair, it was like unkempt, unprofessional. Like,
that's something that's kind of different because in Kenya, in Tanzania, it's like everyone's hair looks like that. So as long as you have braids, the next person has braids too. So,
but I would say now that I've lived in the US for like so many years, the living expenses become so expensive. Everything is so expensive. Like, it's becoming too expensive, and I'm just realizing you have to be like you have to like have financial literacy to survive, because like everything is becoming like it's just too expensive. Rent is high, bills are high, groceries are expensive, clothes are expensive, everything's so expensive like before it used to be, and it's crazy.
Yeah. How about you, Kimberly?
It was definitely expensive. Granted, in terms of school fees, the first semester was taken care of, but having that little money that you got as your pocket money and trying to stretch that for over a couple of weeks or a couple of months was really hard. the fact that you have to call back home and be like, hey, I
I
need
need
more
some
money.
money.
It's
Yeah.
even harder because now once you do the exchange rate,
It's
then to them they're sending you
Yeah.
so much money, but once it gets here, then it's
like
barely
so little.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I feel like it was a really tough time where you had to ask for your parents for money, and it's like, can they even afford it? Also at that point, like they still have to send other kids to school, they still have to cover their own bills. So I feel like it was a struggle, honestly. But obviously, it does get better as time goes by because you start to like figure out if you're gonna get a scholarship or like some grants or that kind of stuff to
Yeah.
assist you with that. Even as you go, you start to like learn the loopholes in the system, and that really goes a long way.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I think the best advice someone has ever given me since I landed in the US is stop converting everything into Kenyan shillings.
Yeah.
Because if you keep doing that, you'll never buy anything.
That's
I remember
true,
I went
yeah.
to Walmart and I was trying to buy an avocado and it was like $2. I was like, 200 shillings for an
For one
avocado?
avocado.
And only
I was
this
like, no
tiny
way.
Even a
avocado.
big one.
Oh yeah,
I was
that's
like,
true.
200 shillings for an avocado? No way. And I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
kept doing that with everything. That most of the time I would go into Walmart, like with a whole list of things, and I would come up with two things that were absolutely necessary. I couldn't do without it. So my auntie was like, as long as you keep converting, you'll never buy anything because everything will seem too expensive.
Yeah.
And ever
Also,
since
you're
I
not
stopped,
in Kenya.
yeah, you're not in Kenya anymore.
Yeah.
You're in America now. So
Yeah.
avocado is not
Also, not only like groceries expensive, you're not getting even when you get like a job in general, like if you're done
the
with
money
college,
you get paid,
you get paid way more than you would be paid
Yeah.
in Kenya. Yeah.
So that's the one mentality that helped me. Like once I got rid of that mentality, I started being able to shop more.
Yeah.
I was able to buy more stuff that I actually wanted and needed more than just being like, okay, yeah, I want that, but it's too expensive. And it wasn't really expensive. I was just converting it into Kenyan shillings.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because you're not getting paid $2 an hour for you to be like, oh, $2? That's a lot of money. It's way more than
That's
that.
true.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so the last topic that I think kind of ties everything that we've discussed today is mental health and mental health pretty much because everything we've talked about today influences your mental health. Like being isolated, the finances part, relationships, sexuality, everything kind of goes back to how your mental health is affected. Like for me, I felt very isolated the first semester. I was at ball stage. The second semester, I started getting to understand things better, but still, my mental health was in the pits. Like, I honestly needed a therapist.
I think, I think we got to America and realized everybody needs a therapist. Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
But are you gonna afford it though? That's the question.
Oh yeah, no, therapy is expensive.
And are they gonna help you? Because I've had friends who've gone to therapy and they say that having an American therapist is useless. Because yeah, like for example, you talk to them about your childhood trauma. And you're like, my mom used to do this, my mom used to do that, and this is why I'm like this. And in America, because America is pretty much an individualistic society. So they'll be like, cut off your mom, choose your own happiness.
Yeah.
We don't roll like that.
No.
Like, you can cut off your mom.
Not.
So it's like, what do you mean cut off my mom? Like, in as much as she did this, she was also there for me in ways nobody else was there for me.
Yeah.
And I also understand her trauma is from the things she also
went through.
Like when you're an adult, you realize I'm just a girl.
And so is she.
Like she is. I mean, yeah, she was just a girl. Like when you're an adult, like I think when my mom was my age, she had me. as a
That's
baby.
crazy to think
So
about.
it's like
Yeah.
I don't have any kids,
Mhm.
and I can't imagine having a baby right now.
Mhm.
Like if I had a baby right now and they were crying, I would start crying too. Cause why are you crying? Why are we
Yeah.
I
crying?
don't know what to
Shut
do.
up.
We need an adult in the room because
Find an
I'm not the adult.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's so crazy because I feel like for me, mental health, I I came straight from high school where like and I was like so young. Mental health was never something I ever knew about or talked about. And in Africa, okay, in Tanzania or in my high school where I went to, we never addressed mental health, and anybody who was like very emotional, we were just like, that's so
You're
weird. Like, keep it
overreacting.
together.
Like-
Like, girl. Like, what? Like, we're just.
Why you being like that?
Yeah. We had a girl in our
That's
school
weird.
who would have panic attacks. And like everybody in school was like, oh my gosh, she's such a drama queen.
Right.
She just needs attention. Like,
Which is so sad.
oh yeah, it's so sad. But yeah, and then I came here.
Mhm.
I was so isolated, and I didn't have family, and I didn't have friends for a long time.
Right.
I only had like maybe 2 friends,
Mhm.
but they didn't live close to me, and I had to take the bus. And the public transportation in Kansas is just so bad, and I didn't have like a social life where I went to the club or did all these things. So it was just so depressing for me because that's what I expected my college life to be like, and the reality was so different.
Yeah.
It was so depressing. I would cry all the time, but at that time I still didn't know that was like maybe I was going through some depression. But I was very sad.
Yeah.
Extremely sad. I would just like cry at night, go to bed, cry, wake up, do it all over again, wake up at 6, get on the bus, go to school, come back home and just cry because I was like, I can't believe this is my life.
Right.
Yeah, I was
Because
like,
you think you're coming here for greener pastures.
yeah.
But it's like you're crying more than you've ever cried.
Yeah, and then
in
it's
the whole
like
country.
on social media, my friend, because they're like, you go to America for the American dream, for the better life. It's the country for whatever
Opportunities,
the land of opportunities or whatever.
And then
But you come
get
here
there,
and it's like so sad. My friends who are back home in Africa were supposed to
They
be
think
like,
you're living the life.
they not only do they think I'm living the life, but they look like they're having way more fun than I am.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in college they're going out to clubs, they have friends, they have like all boyfriends and all these things, and it's like, and they don't have to deal with like racism, dealing with like code switching, your accent, your all these things. So I was just like, this is like hell.
Right.
I was like, I'm in hell. But yeah, I was so depressed, honestly.
Yeah.
And then for the longest time, I was just so sad. And then I think I just started consuming like content about like mental health. I think that's what like helped me, and I started learning more about mental health, about like anxiety, depression, what causes it, how to get out of it, and I also like started working out, started doing like different things. But I just feel, because you're isolated and it's a different culture, and it's a different culture where you come as like the minority. Where you're not like the privileged, you're not sort of the like privileged race. I think for most people it can be very depressing, very isolating, very like I said, I feel like I'm repeating myself. But yeah, it was not like the best for me, especially as a teenager. You still need guidance, you need your parents there to like hold your hand and tell you what to do. But my parents are back home. They can't tell me what to do. They've never been here.
Yeah.
So I had to just like figure it out by myself as well. Figure everything out by myself as well, which was way harder. And yeah, so I feel like I got to learn that mental health is very important. Mental health issues are real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that you said mental
Yeah.
health issues are real because in Africa we always think depression is not a real thing.
Yeah.
Mental health issues are not real.
You
like,
think it's something you just pray away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're just overreacting, like you
Yeah.
said. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, we're usually just like, and sometimes people are usually just like, just because maybe you're going through something that 10 other people are going through, they're like, why are you overreacting? Why are you crying? We are all going through the same
we've gone
thing.
through worse.
So they invalidate your feelings.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I came to learn all these things where it's like your feelings are valid. All these things. I learned it through like podcasts and stuff because I couldn't afford therapy. And also it's stuff, because in Africa it's stuff you don't know about, so it's not stuff I could talk to my parents about. So it was something you had to learn through like not therapy, but like podcasts, content, and then like right now it's like it's stuff you realize like you're not alone. Most of the people around you are going through it, so it's something you like discuss about, and like you realize like, oh my god, like I'm not crazy. Like other people feel this way as well, and this is how they cope, and which is like very interesting.
Sure. How about you, Kimberly?
I feel the same way. I share the same sentiments, but then also, you come into this society where everybody's very individualistic, where everybody's just thinking about themselves because that's all they can afford to do. You cannot afford to like, kind of like take someone under your shelter and provide for them, help them out. Personally, I had a really good support system when I got here, but then it got to a point where I was like, there's nothing more we can do. You don't have school fees. You cannot offer to like pay for you, So you get to a point where it's like, yes, I know people are trying, but also it's on me, So you're not feeling very isolated, even though you're still around people. And it's like, is there even a community in the first place?
Right.
Right? You get here and everybody just is doing their own thing. Personally, for me, it got to a point where when I started living on my own, I believe in like 2020 or thereabout, when I moved to my own place, like I would barely socialize with people. I would just like be at home, chilling, doing nothing. You call your friends, your closest friends, they're probably busy at work, especially over the weekend. When you're in Kenya, like it's one of those societies where if you're off on the weekend, you have to be like very essential. It's not like people just work on the weekend just working on the weekend. So that time that we used to have back home where you could go hang out with your friends over the weekend, you can't pull party from Wednesday through Monday and they're like out in the club together. Out here, you cannot afford to do that.
No.
You party one day, the next day either you gotta be back at work or it's too expensive for you. So you find that your community is very limited. But I've also come to understand the fact that you have to personally get out of your comfort zone and find people to socialize with and actually be around people. Because if you don't, then guess what? Your mental health is gonna start going down. Because you're not going outside as much, you're not getting enough sun, especially in the winter. Your vitamin D level is like getting
and especially as Africans, we need a lot of vitamin D. So if you don't intentionally go outside,
they say we're more likely to be depressed when it comes to the US because
we're used to
so much vitamin D where we get from the sun, and then you come here, you're always in the house, or it gets really
in the office, maybe.
Office. So it's one of those things where you have to be proactively working towards making your mental health better. You're gonna have those issues, but you have to learn ways in which you can do it. And if you don't, then it's probably just gonna take you down to
but I also would like to say I feel like we've said so many negative things about like moving to America. Somebody can be like, it sounds like you guys are in hell. Why are you still there? Like
there's a lot of positives too.
But I think some things are very disappointing, but there's a lot of like nice things as well. I would like to say that I like the convenience. Like I said before, it's like how you can just like see something on TikTok or maybe see something like an influencer has, and all you have to do is like a link away, and it's like
at your doorstep.
Poof. Yeah, there it is. You can try it.
And you can actually afford it.
And you can afford it. And also I like the way that like for personally for me back home, traveling to like maybe Miami, Las Vegas, Europe seemed like a dream away. Like it's something you just say like one day I'll go to Tokyo, but deep down you know you'll never.
Yeah.
You're like one day I'll go to China,
Mhm.
but when you're here, it places like Las Vegas, Miami, or you're like, oh, one day I'll see Chris Brown. These are things that are very achievable.
Yeah,
like
very much so.
a link away. You just go on the website, book something, put your card information, and you're there. Like it's just it's
doesn't
very
take too much of an effort.
yeah, it's very accessible, and it opened my mind to be like to how much I can do with my life, how much I can actually like. It made things feel very reachable. I feel like now I feel like personally I feel like if I put my mind to stuff, I can actually like do it. But growing up, I felt like very like I could delulu. Like you're just like I wanna be a millionaire, but you just know you're just saying it just to say. Like you're like I one day I'll like do this, but you just saying it just to say. Which I thought but in America you also meet people who because it's a fast-paced environment. You also meet people who are very ambitious. People doing such big things, and so personally they can like inspire you to also like do the same. Honestly I feel like which is very inspiring, like because I feel like my parents thought like when I come to the US I'll probably be spoiled, like end up like just partying and all that, but I meant like people who are very ambitious, people who are like you're not going to class. What are you doing with your life? So it's like you feel the pressure to like I need to go to class. Everybody around me has a goal. Everybody around me is going to school. Everybody around me is like graduating. Everybody around me has a master's degree. So like
what about me?
so you're like, let me get this master's, let me do this. So it's like a product of your environment, which I feel like
I agree because I feel like if I had stayed in Kenya, I wouldn't even be having a master's degree right now. I wouldn't be a PhD student right now. I would genuinely have stopped at my bachelor's degree because I would be like, why would I want to continue studying? Like why? Like why would I want to do that? To myself?
But on that point of convenience, to a point, is it being too convenient? Right? Because think about it. You're home, you're like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm going to order food. You know? Or, I gotta go to the store. The store's like literally 2 blocks away. Like 2 blocks away. But since you cannot walk outside, you take your car, you drive 2 blocks down, and you're like, when does it become too much? Or just on TikTok scrolling, you see something that you want where you get instant gratification. Like that's just working against what we're trying to achieve. Because that means you're just spending money recklessly. However,
that's true.
In this country, it's a very capitalistic country.
Very much so.
If you're not very careful with your money, you're gonna end up spending all the money that you're making. You're gonna be making a lot of money, but you're
there's a day I had to tell myself stop because I started like door dashing my groceries. And I was like door dashing food. Like I was barely leaving my house. Like I was like, I need to go to the store. Like somebody can go to the store for me.
Spend like a few extra bucks.
And it's like sometimes when you like order food online, I mean, it's like if something that was $13 ends up being like maybe $23, $26 because like this delivery fee is cheap and all these things. So it's like is it even worth it?
It's just one of those things where you really have to like weigh options. I mean, for someone who's at home maybe disabled, but for us as able human beings,
don't need that.
You want to tell me you cannot order your food online and then just get in your car, drive, go pick it up.
No, I think I think it definitely makes you a little bit lazy in a way. Like that's why like when you come to the US, there's that thing for where you have to intentionally be like active, or you can easily just end up being very like unhealthy. Because you have to intentionally like walk. Because after you get a car, you're barely walking anywhere. And with DoorDash and Uber Eats and all these things, like you're barely even like going to get your own food, your own groceries. So it's like with like ordering even clothes online. You're barely walking in a shopping
Right,
mall
to try it
looking
on.
for clothes. So
Everything
yeah.
just gets brought to you.
Yeah, so it's like you have to be intentional or like keeping
keeping
active.
up.
Well, like in Africa, it's like we walk
I
almost
would
everywhere.
easily like
yeah.
there's this app called Step Up. I don't know if you guys
Yeah, I have it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have it, and I have like my friends and my Kenyan relatives and friends. I struggle to get to 10K.
Yeah, but
My
them,
cousin
that's
who's in
easy.
Kenya easily 40,000 steps. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
40,000?
You're like in a day? What are you doing? But which is so crazy because when I was new, because you know in Africa you can walk to a place that's like 20 minutes away. Just walk
easily.
Yeah.
Because there's
And
other
that.
people outside on the road.
Yeah, and
But
it
like,
doesn't feel weird.
yeah,
But here,
in
like
America-
you said, you'll be walking with homeless people and crackers.
Yeah, it feels weird walking.
Yeah.
First of all, especially if you're not in like big cities.
Or even if it
It's
doesn't
like-
have pavements to walk
Yeah,
on.
sometimes it's
Like
like a
you're walking
pavement
on the
just
street,
ends.
like,
It ends out of nowhere.
And
Yeah.
you have to walk
nowhere
in
to
someone's
go.
backyard
And-
or something, yeah.
And that's
That's
trespassing.
Yeah. So it's like
It's just crazy.
yeah, and in Africa everyone's walking.
Yeah.
Either it's like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 1 p.m. people are walking.
Mhm.
So it's like very different for sure. Because I also was like, I don't have a car, but I can just like walk to the bus stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you
I was the
start
only
walking-
one in that neighborhood walking
Walking.
at 6 a.m. in the morning.
I was watching this video on Instagram about how there's a community being built,
Mhm.
and they make it look like there's a community, and then right behind the community is like maybe a shopping center,
Mhm.
but then they make it in a way that you cannot like literally cross over from your community into the shopping center without you having to go like a long route around. Where if you walked around, it's gonna take you like 30 minutes to get to the store. But granted, if you could just like cross over from your community to the shopping center, it would be like a good 5 or 10
5
minutes.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And I'm like, even the way communities are built around here, it doesn't encourage you getting
It's
out.
not walkable.
It's not
Yeah.
walkable.
It's
Like
not-
all the
yeah.
communities here are very car centric. Like it's not
Yeah,
walkable.
Which is
yeah.
unfair. Of which
Mhm.
I'm really happy that some of us tend to like, for example, you live downtown where you can just get up, walk down to the restaurant, and come back up. There's like a privilege right there.
Yeah.
Over long part, by the time you walk from your home to Walmart, you're like, you're not sweating.
Not only just home to Walmart, those bags carrying
Carrying
them
the
back
bags
to your
over.
house
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So yeah, there's a time I didn't like have a car, so we had to walk to like I had to like walk to the nearest grocery store, which was like maybe 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
But and then I would have to like buy groceries and then take an Uber with the groceries back to my apartment because it was just a 5 minute drive is like so long to walk,
Yeah.
especially in the summer. It's hot, or in the winter it's
Really
cold.
cold down.
It's like I had to like order an Uber to come pick me up, put my groceries, and drop me off back home,
Yeah.
which was also very expensive.
Yeah.
But you know
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
Like at
Yeah.
the end of the day, we're here. We try to make the best of it, and yeah. So our expectations versus reality was pretty much like our expectations are very much different from our realities.
Yeah.
But we found a way. Let us not sound like we're being negative. That was just us providing a view of our expectations versus reality.
Yeah.
But one way or another, we found a way to navigate through all the harsh realities that we face, and that's why we're still here. So if you're wondering why are they complaining and they're still here, it's just we're not really complaining. We're just saying this was our realities, the harsh realities we didn't expect.
Yeah.
But we found a way to navigate it, and we are here. We are still finding ways to navigate new things. So thank you so much, Emma and Kim, for coming to my podcast today. It was so nice having you guys. This was a very much interesting conversation, and I hope we can be able to talk because there's so much that we can talk about.
Honestly, that's
So,
true. Yeah.
I'll have you guys call in,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
even when you go back to Kansas, I'll have you
Yeah.
guys call in, and there's so much we can talk about, and we'll be talking about so much more.
Next time around, we'll do more positive things.
Yeah, next time
we're
we'll
doing
do
another
positive
episode
things.
for expectations versus reality, something that surpassed
Positive,
your expectation. Yeah.
Actually, that should be the next
something
thing
that
we'll
you
talk
thought
about.
wasn't gonna be that good, but you're like, oh
This
wow,
is really good.
like Phoenix.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
We underestimate
So
Phoenix.
Yeah.
To be fair, I underestimated Phoenix before I moved here, but Phoenix is a pretty cool city. I love it, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed your stay in Phoenix. And I hope you can move to Phoenix so I can have more African friends.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, thank you for having us. This was so much fun.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Nice meeting you too. That was great.